a strike last week. Whoops. That's never fun. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Formula 2 Division Racing here at PlayStation Gaming League. Join us at PlayStationGL.com for all the fun, festive activities, so on and so forth. I am the Zebra94. Joined by me again for the second week in a row is Venom himself. Venom, we're here at the Chinese Grand Prix, a very technical looking track, both on and off the track. Just from a spectator point of view, what can the drivers expect from this track, such as passing points, tire wear, and just overall toughness of the track?
Well, good evening to you again, Zebra, and to everybody watching. Well, this is certainly a track which is different to Bahrain for a lot of aspects. It's kind of on tire wear, so I think we'll see a lot of people on one-stop strategy. In terms of we have a heavy braking zone into turn 1, and then after that sweeping turns of sector 2, and then of course one of the main overtaking areas into turn 14 at the hairpin after the secondary rest zone. So it's a track which has plenty of opportunities for overtaking. There's probably at least 3 or 4 good places, but the main straight, back straight, is going to be the 2 main areas we'll see overtakes, and looks like we've got wet quali.
Ooh, that is always fun. So that's actually gonna switch up the qualifying strategy for sure. Drivers will be going on either intermediates or wets. Looking pretty wet out there, so I'm guessing it's not heavy rain. So it looks like you're probably going on inters.
Yeah, I'd say it's inters. So because of the shorter qualifying format, there's going to be less chance of being able to dry out. So we're not sure if it's going to get heavier or it's going to get lighter. But if it gets lighter, then there'll still be some difference in times by the end.
Yeah, so it's going to be an absolute exciting qualifying run here today as we focus on PSGL coming out. The current points leader absolutely dominated the field last week at Bahrain.
Yeah, I think BSAS, I think anybody who knows the grid F2 and BSAS himself probably would have put him as the pre-season favourite for F2, and last week didn't really change anyone's minds on that viewpoint, especially mine.
Hold on, forgive me. Yeah, forgive me if you're on silent. I got to change something up real quick.
That's fine. I'll just chip in. But I think the vast majority of the field is out on track, including BSAS, and then we saw some impressive drives last week. Falcon in second, in particular. Remco executing his one stop to get to third. But we also saw the likes of Skiven, who had unfortunate races, so there's more to come from BSAS McLaren teammate, who's one of the fastest on the grid, so he'll be looking to get his season started after his poor showing last week, much of which wasn't down to him.
Yeah, and actually more on Skiven in just a bit as qualifying has started, and like you said, Venom, plenty of cars on the track and trying to get a feel for this, for how the car reacts in the wet, so on and so forth. So not entirely sure how or what the weather's like, since we don't get that type of information anymore.
Yeah, well, every single car in the grid is out on track.
Wow. Trying to set in times. To answer your guys' question in the chat, Game Freaker, top 3 in the standings at the moment, we have BSAS, Falcon, and Remco. That's your top 3 in the standings. And so far, drivers pitching in the division chat, not looking too happy about the rain, and I wouldn't be either, especially around China.
Absolutely. McLaren, Sauber and Force India, incidentally, leading the early constructors table, but they were the same as the top 3 in the drivers for their points. So we will see the first beginnings of the real shapes of the constructors championship after this race tonight, I feel.
All right, yeah, I can't wait for the second race of the season to start. And with the new game and a new season comes new additions to the team. We're trying this out. We're seeing if it works. If you guys like it, which I'm hoping you would. It's my goal to bring not only the drivers but the spectators such as yourself a full, very immersive. What's the word I'm looking for? Just immersive feeling as if you are watching an actual F1 race. So I'd like to introduce to you our pit analysis. Yes, we got a pit analysis. It is my wife, believe it or not. Yes, what? A girlfriend wants to get involved in their man's passion of commentating. I know, it's crazy. But today we'll be focusing on 2 drivers. That's Michelangelo and Steven. And let's go down to the pits to Brittany as she talks about Michelangelo's qualifying strategy. Brittany?
Hi, good evening everyone. My name is Brittany, and from the information he gave us earlier, he wants to do a 1 lap for qualifying and call it good. He's hoping for a 3rd place start on tonight's grid, which shouldn't be a problem tonight at China.
Thank you, Brittany, for that beautiful insight. But due to the rain, that's definitely going to change as Michelangelo is starting his first lap, but he may end up doing 2 or 3 laps. So we'll see where that puts him.
Yeah, I mean, the usual strategy for a wet quali like this is to fuel and go out straight away and then be there at the end of the session if the conditions get better. Because you don't want to not be out on track right at the end, because if the conditions improve, the times will improve as well. So you could be in pole position with a couple of minutes to go, and then if you're not out on track, 2 minutes later you could be 10th or 11th, because that's how quickly the track can improve when the track starts to dry or the rain eases off.
Yeah, but with how the short qualifying is acted in this new game, with only 12 minutes a session now, it's going to be highly unlikely. And Michelangelo is setting a fast time of 1:45.872, so we'll see if that stands, which I'm sure it won't, yeah, as the dry line does form onto the track.
Yeah, BSAS just behind on a 1:46.021. He's on a, I'm not sure if that's an in lap, but he's done a very slow sector 1 and sector 2, so I think he's probably maybe a difference to getting a fresh set of enters for his second run. He hasn't got too much time to think about it though.
Yeah, definitely. As soon as you finish your initial first lap, if you don't think that your lap is good enough, I'll definitely race back to the pits, throw on a fresh new set of enters, and like you said, chances are your lap is going to be faster because the dry line has formed, and therefore lap times will be faster. But it doesn't look like the rain is going to be letting up anytime soon. And right now we're on board with actually one of my personal friends, B More. It's actually great to commentate for him once again. Raced with them in some other smaller leagues over the past couple of seasons, but it's good to be commentating for him up in the booth in the Haas machine. So I wish him the best of luck, and hopefully he can put up some good numbers.
He has a lovely helmet. Goes very nicely with that Hascar blood red and black design. I like that kind of helmet design I'd go for.
For sure. And so we're gonna run back down to our to Brittany, and she's going to talk to us about Steven in the McLaren, who didn't really have the best of races last week at Australia. Brittany, go ahead and take it away.
Alright, thank you. I know that you spoke to him earlier today, and he plans to go all out for this short qualifying session. 2 sessions on the Super Soft, and he's aiming for second on the starting grid to get as close to B-Spots as he can. If he achieves that and doesn't crash out early like he did last week, then we'll see a battle for first when it comes to race time. Due to this rain, qualifying strategies will change for sure. Back to you guys in the booth.
Yeah, that was his initial strategy, but you know, Mother Nature is very unpredictable, and we can only predict so much. So hopefully these drivers were able to practice in the rain a little bit, but if they didn't, then they're gonna have a tough qualifying session on their hands.
Yeah, well, my sources indicate that the forecast is for a dry race when we get underway later on.
Alright, so it's all going to be about which tires to start on. Are people going to start on the super softs or softs? And due to no tire wear of qualifying, it's definitely going to be all the drivers are going to be doing one stops. Maybe a handful will do two stops because they're not entirely confident in their tire management skills, but we'll see when it comes to race time, as we just have 2 minutes left in qualifying. All this excitement in this qualifying, and it's great.
Yeah, Michelangelo back out on track for his final run, just doing his out lap, and I believe BSAT is about to start another run. It's going very slowly around turn 11 and 12, but I think he's just going slowly. Is not the best way to get the heat into your tyres, because in wet conditions getting heat in your tyres is so important.
And we're on board with the little blocks right now. Finished in 5th last week at Bahrain, putting up some great numbers, had great battles throughout the race, and we're hoping to see more of that when it comes to race time in just a couple of minutes.
Yep, and oh no, is that a change? No, it's not. The leaderboard's messed up again.
No, cool. I was just about ready to check it, but crisis averted, I guess.
Yeah, it says Falcon is on top, but he's not. Though he has just done a personal best, sector 1. Yeah, so I think how it works is that when they complete their flying lap, it resets their position to the correct points. But when they cross the line to start their flying lap, it then puts them up as if it's race order. So I think that's how the glitch sort of works here.
Oh, okay.
So the main contenders for pole are now on their flying laps.
There's actually a couple. No, go ahead.
I was just seeing what Skeven was doing. He's... Oh, and Hellboy's crashed somewhere.
Yeah.
Or maybe he might have just finished the session, to be fair. But he got just under 10 seconds of the checkered flag.
Yeah, alright, let's ride on board with B-Stats as looks like he's wrapping up his final lap of qualifying as he's heading into corners 11 and 12. This is one of those, Falcon's had a fast lap of 147.021, but this is one of those corners where if you're not careful on the throttle, it can really eat up your back tires. This is around 13, and definitely breaking into the 14 sharp hairpin.
Yeah, that lap by Falcon, that's not the fastest lap. It's in the 46s, the real fast laps, so I hope they patch that soon.
And B-Stats going around the last corner, trying to get max amount of grip as he can. No DRS due to the rain, and he's going to set a 145.243. Wow. Blistering.
Yep, unfortunately the timing screens are so messed up, it's saying he's in 11th on my screen, but that is definitely the fastest lap, I believe, at this stage. Although Michelangelo's on a flying lap, just going into 14 now. He was in provisional pole earlier.
Well, let's see if he can beat, what was it, a 145?
145.3.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Here he comes, coming around the last corner in low 4th gear. Getting on the rumble strips. Nope, and he's going to almost lose control, but doesn't get it. And so far, it's put him in 5th, but we'll see where it puts him at the end of the end of the session.
I think he did a 1:45.792, so he did improve, but I don't think it's enough.
What about King Mick? Let's see if he can improve, and puts him in 9th for the time being. King Mick actually had a pretty great run last week as well, finishing 9th, and with plenty of battles in between.
Yeah, I think that's it. So I think the top 3 for most of the session. So we got Beasthouse and the McLaren, then we got Michelangelo and Toro Rosso, and then Louis 03 in 3rd.
And now as we wait for qualifying to wind on down, your picks for the podium today.
Well, I think Beasthouse and Michelangelo will be the top 2, but the battle for 3rd is going to be very ferocious. I actually fancy Remco to get 3rd place.
I'm actually going to go for Beasthouse, which I'm pretty sure everyone is thinking, yeah, Beasthouse, obviously, hands down. But I'm seeing Skeven sneaking up there in 2nd, along with Michelangelo in 3rd. So there's your starting grid order: Beasthouse, Michelangelo, Louis, Lewis, okay, Skeven, Cliffy, Hellboy, Brain, King Mick, and Falcon. That is your top 10, with little Remco just outside of the top 10 starting grid. Falcon dropping from his fantabulous start last week, starting in 2nd down to 10th. The rain probably not benefiting him, but it's going to be a dry race, so let's see where this takes us. Once again, thank you for joining us, everyone. Comment in the... Go ahead and comment your top 3 predictions. Okay. Oh, cool. So we have 2 Lewises. So we have Lewis and Lewis. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, I think the correct way of saying is Louis W03, and then Lewis 11500. So that's save any confusion.
Well, he just commented that it's spelled Louis, but it's pronounced Lewis. So 2 Lewises, but Lewis 03 we'll do. So we'll work around. We will find a way and work around it. So here we go. Race start in just a couple of seconds as the drivers are setting up their pit strategies and fuel levels.
Well, the free choice of tyres will naturally create good racing from the start, because there's going to be people on faster tyres, slower tyres, so it's going to be awesome.
Alright, here we go. We are at the grid. 5 red lights. And away we go. Looks like a little bit delayed start on my version, but here we go. We have cars all the way back as they enter the first couple of corners, which people refer to as the snails. We have one car going way off, and that's Lewis in the Williams. And then we have Parkway Drive. Let's actually ride on board with them. Take a look at this mass chaos as they dive into the sharp left corner as they go on before the first straightaway, going into the first right-hand hairpin. As we go up 2 little blocks, and let's see if we can maneuver through the traffic. There is a Sauber with Remco right in front, and the car's all gaggled and all bunched up. Doogie right in front of him as they go around the long left-hander.
Well, into turn 1, the 2 Lewis actually made a bit of contact. Lewis 11500s nudged the other Williams of Lewis off to the left, so that's why he dropped to the back.
And there's Skeven. He's actually made up a couple of positions, starting in 7th, I believe it was. Now he's moving out his way up to 5th. And we have different cars starting on different tires. So we have a couple of drivers in the super softs and a couple drivers on the softs. And right now we already have Michelangelo and Beasthouse battling for the lead as they go side by side around turn 14 and heading onto the final corner. See if they can keep it clean.
Yep, and the other Toro Rosso, Cliffy, went on the attack and passed the Red Bull of Lewis to move up to 3rd.
Yeah, we have a couple cars actually diving into the pits right away. So I wonder what that's all about.
I will let you know why they're in the pits. Well, Parkway Drive spun at the final corner. I'll let you know why they're in the pits. Might be a change of strategy. I will let you know.
All right. And we're still focusing on the battle between Michelangelo and Beastas. Very strong here today. He actually tried to, looks like, make a move going around the last section of the snail around turn 2, but couldn't make it stick.
Oh, you're not going to believe this, but both Saubers have had to have wing changes, and Falcon's had to double stack to wait for the said wing change.
Oh no!
So he's losing an unbelievable amount of time.
Yeah, he's actually going to shuffle him all the way back in last in 17th place, and he's just getting out of the pits. Currently second in the points, but that is going to change at the end of the day.
Yep.
So.
And MOG Kiwis in the Force India also had to make a lap 1 wing change. So, but for Sauber, that's a complete disaster. With no safety cars at the moment set on, might not be long before they call it a day, because they're going to be, especially Falcon, he's going to be miles behind. But back to the front.
And there he goes. Falcon has retired. He already knew. Just
it's race over.
Yep. P0, turn it off, bring it back home. But let's focus on the battle right here between 4th, 5th, and 6th. We have Brain, Skeven, and Lewis in the Red Bull. And here comes Skeven going on the inside. Decides to brake a little bit early to give Lewis room, but here comes the Ferrari coming behind the McLaren. See if he can make that move and hold on and pass for 5th position.
Yep, DRS enabled, of course, now, so Lewis is going to have some more defending to do, but that was nicely driven there, just close the door on Skeven, getting no chance of getting through.
So we go back to King Mick and Hellboy. They're battling out for P7, and looks like there's a little bit of battling going on throughout the field, so we're going to try our best to try to capture every last bit of it with our 2-man squad.
Yep. And we've got another wing change, and Parkway Drive has just pitted in the Renault. He's had to do a wing change. We saw him spin off the end of lap 1. He had to change his wing, so again, another race potentially over.
And Michelangelo in the DRS, but looks like Beastas just has a McLaren just dialed in for today's race. But track temps are a little cool, but still a little bit slick due to the overcast. So I'm sure the drivers are hoping it will stay that way, and I'm sure it will, so cross your fingers for the drivers.
Yeah, King Mick attempted a big dive bomb into turn 14 to get past Hellboy, didn't quite pull it off. Luckily no damage for either car, but a bit of a risky move there.
Toro Rosso's doing wonderful, running 2 and 2nd and 3rd, I believe. Yeah, clipping Michelangelo, so definitely the team to watch out for as the season goes on, around 2 of 12. So after this race, only 10 more races until we crown the season winner for drivers and constructors. So we'll see how that goes as the season progresses.
Yeah, I'm just having a look to see who's on what. Yeah, so it's quite a lot of mixed different tyres. We got the 4 of the top 5 are on the softs, only Michelangelo on the super softs, and then Lil Remco is on the mediums, and he's moved up to 9th from his start position, so he's in a decent position with good points later. Stonewall, one stop strategy from him, and most of the midfield are on mediums or softs after their first lap wing changes.
On board with blocks as he's about ready to enter in the DRS, so let's see if he can make up some ground and potentially pass Remco for P9. Full rep 211 until he breaks hard. He's going on the inside. They touch just a bit. Blocks runs Remco wide, and he takes the position, no problem. But now Lewis in the Williams trying to take another position away from Remco in the DRS. Kind of hesitated just for a bit. But let's see if he can make the move coming into turn 1. and doesn't look. Ooh, maybe coming around corner number 2 on the inside, but Remco's gonna have the inside line around turn 3, and Remco holds him off. So that was a scary moment for Remco, now holding down the last points position for 10th for the time being.
Yeah, well, despite having the slower tyre, Beastaz showing really good race pace on that soft tyre. He's got a 1.5 second lead, so he's broken the DRS, Michelangelo and the Toro Rosso, so I hate to say it, but it's looking pretty good for another win for him at this stage. And yeah, it's a bit of a train now. Lewis in 4th. He's got Skeven behind him. CC Brain, Hellboy and King Mick back to 8th.
Yeah, nice little kind of DRS train going on, and if these drivers can keep up the pace that they have, if not even like up the pace, we actually could see King Mick running wide around turn 4 and Hellboy losing his rear end around. But just like I was saying, we could actually see a 5-car battle all for P4. So definitely a nice little gaggle of cars to keep an eye on as the race progresses.
Yeah, of course, some of those in the middle of that, the DRS is cancelling each other out. So Lewis is almost the cork in the bottle for some of the drivers behind. If they can get past, they might be able to, because Lewis is lapping significantly slower than Cliffy in front of him in 3rd place.
You know, definitely holding back the other drivers, and which he has every right to. He's fighting for a position, but it's going to be a matter of time until the DRS zones equate and they catch up and pass him.
Yeah, and interestingly, Cliffy is now lapping faster than his Toro Rosso teammate Michelangelo in front of him. So if anything, Michelangelo is less challenging Beastaz. He's now got his teammate to worry about soon. He's losing about, last 2 laps he's lost 3/10 on each one.
Yeah, and right now Cliffy, he's pretty safe from the group behind him and just in that clean air with nothing but just trying to set the fastest personal lap times for him and try to pass his teammate for 2nd place. Very good point, Pine. Pine made a good thought. Michael is probably going to try to undercut Beastaz, and we'll see what happens, because both first and second, or first on the soft, second's on the super soft, so both the drivers could very well be switching to the mediums very shortly.
Yeah, Beastaz will be going a while yet. He'll probably be going to at least maybe lap 12 on those softs before he thinks about. I mean, he's doing a 1-stop, there's no question about it.
Right, and Michelangelo's going to try to stretch out the super softs, which shouldn't be a problem due to the fact that he didn't have to run on them for qualifying. So all drivers got fresh tires.
The mediums last forever here. It's just a question of whether you actually have the pace on them. Doing a 1-stop here is pretty easy. Oh, and Michelangelo saves the back end coming around towards the end of sector 2. That was nearly a massive crash there, but well saved.
And Kiwiz has retired the other Sauber, I believe it was, right? Kiwiz?
No, that Kiwiz is in the Force India, but he was one of the guys who had to pit for a wing on lap 1, so...
That's right, I was thinking of Dougie, my bad. But yeah, so he's retired from the race, unfortunately. I wonder if he crashed out or just wasn't having it today and called it out early.
Yeah, well, without the safety cars, it's really, if you get caught up in an instant on lap 1 like that, then I mean, personally, I would keep going anyway, just in case something happens. But some people don't have that trust that something will happen, I guess.
Speaking of something happening, the DRS has caught up, and that train has actually gotten significantly closer as Skeven going on the inside. They touch the Red Bull and McLaren. They touch. So going around the snail, and Skeven getting 4th place. Let's see if he can hold it on.
The Red Bull trying to fight back.
And Skeven getting the pass. Wow, great battling from all these drivers. They were able to hold on to their car, but here comes the Mercedes dive bomb on the inside.
Goes for a dive. Yeah.
And he gets it. Oh my. Wow.
Yeah, he took no prisoners there. It's a very aggressive move, but I have to say I quite liked it. Very opportunistic.
I think so far that's my pass of the day right there. Is Hellboy going on the inside. Most people they back off, but we're not even on lap 10 and he's making moves like it's the last 2 laps of the race.
Yeah, Michelangelo is now struggling on the super softs. Clippy is now close into DRS range. In the battle for second.
And now the rules have changed for the battle for fourth now, as Lewis and Skeven. Now Skeven has to hold off Lewis while he's in the DRS, and here comes Lewis. Thought about going on the inside, decided against it. Oh, and the Mercedes loses control just a bit. Hellboy saves it and keeps his 6th position, but with the 2 red charging Ferraris behind him, let's see what happens.
Oof. Cliffy taking a little bit of a risk at turn 1 to put a wheel on the grass, but he kept it going. But yeah, Michelangelo, all sorts of problems. The rear tyres seem to be screaming. They're just not giving him the traction anymore. He'll be pitting soon.
Yeah, you just see the braking distance there going around that right-hand corner. Cliffy was able to brake at a later point while Michelangelo had a brake earlier, and with that's closing in, and then just these long winding turns just eat up to the tires. I'm sure the tires are screaming for help right now, and Toro Rossos are extremely close to each other, and I think Cliffy may get the pass on this DRS zone coming up.
Yeah, and Bisas will be enjoying this. I mean, he's comfortably lapping quicker than Michelangelo now because of Michelangelo may have. I think if he was going to go for that aggressive strategy in super softs on the start, he had to get past Bisas and get away from him. But Bisas defended well.
And then he just pretty much took off after that. There you see the train of cars in the background coming around the home stretch. Looks like no one has changed positions just yet, but it looks like Hellboy has gotten closer to Lewis in the Red Bull. And let's see if he can make another aggressive move. Oh, they lock wheels for a second, but they keep it clean. No damage on either car. Oh, that was scary, but they held it together. Oh my.
Now, because Michelangelo is effectively holding Cliffy up now, which is allowing Skeven did 1 second faster that last lap. So that train at this rate will be catching those Toro Rossos.
Yeah, it just seems like that this race is going to be a ticking time bomb when pit stops are all said and done, especially if the drivers up in front are having a hard time managing their tires. So maybe the drivers who started on the softs have benefited from the drivers starting on the super softs, such as the Toro Rosso teammates.
Yeah, here comes Cliffy. I think he's going to think about moving to 14 now. He had a look. Michelangelo had a bit more straight line speed, but yeah, I think Michelangelo goes into the pits. Nearly crashed into the inside wall, but I'll tell you what tyres he goes on. Has to be the medium, surely.
Yep, and let's go back down to our pit analysis. Brittany, what can you tell us about Michelangelo's race strategy right now?
Hey, thanks again. It's good to be back. Yeah, Michelangelo's strategy. Just like a couple of the drivers here tonight, he wants to achieve the one stop here tonight. But if he can manage his tire wear, it shouldn't be a problem if he's careful around the banked corners of turns 12 and 13. Let's see if he can get a podium finish.
have to say I'm very surprised. Michelangelo's gone onto the softs.
Oh yeah, I think he may end up doing a one-stop with 18 laps to go.
That's going to be pushing it. That's going to be pushing it.
And if he does push it at the end, he could very well suffer a puncture. So we'll definitely see where this ends up. But now Cliffy is able to make up some ground that he's lost when he was fighting with his teammate on Beastas. And if anything, looks like Cliffy might be the only one to actually challenge Beastas for the lead here today. But he's got a lot of ground to make up. What is that? 6.9 seconds behind him right now.
Yeah, we also had a Ferrari coming to the pit. C-Brain from 8th place. He's gone on to the medium, so he'll be going to the end for sure.
Yeah, so I think Michelangelo may have shot himself in the foot there, but we'll see as the other Ferrari has dove in as well. So pit stops are being made for the cars on the softs.
Yeah, King Mick goes for the softs. Lewis goes in the Red Bull. He goes for mediums. So I think King Mick is going to try and jump some cars in that little train. But again, they're going to have good tyre wear to get to the end. And oh, Lewis just comes out in 10th ahead of C-Brain. So C-Brain gained a lot of time from just that one lap. So the undercut very strong, but Lewis crucially stays in front and into clear road.
For the people watching, does my mic sound staticky? If so, I apologize, and I'll try to get that fixed next race. I think my sensitivity might just be up just a tad bit, but I'll fix for next race. I promise. If it sounds not all that great.
Yep, Skeven struggling with oversteer coming out to turn 13, and now he's under attack from Hellboy on the back straight. DRS open.
Now, if Hellboy can pick off Skeven, it's actually going to be quite impressive, because Skeven's has been fishtailing quite a bit as actually Hellboy goes into the pits. So Skeven is going to be pitting.
Race leader pits.
And right now, Skeven is your provisional first place for now, as Cliffy goes into the pits, throws on the mediums, and he's out. And let's see where Beastas comes out as. He comes out in second.
Yeah, he's come out in third, but he's
third. Excuse me.
Yeah, he comes out in third, but he's got net first once his teammate and Louis in the Williams. Louis on a medium stint, so he won't be pitting anytime yet. But yeah, it's a commanding position for Beastas once again.
And there is Remco right behind, well, not right behind Beastas, but a little bit, about a second and a half maybe behind him. But yeah, Remco's going to have to pit soon, I believe, as he started on the mediums.
Well, Michelangelo is on the soft tyres. He's going to have faster tyres than Remco, but Remco is the most, decorated and experienced driver on the grid, so that's not going to be, if Remco wants to defend that position, he's going to be a tricky guy for Michelangelo to pass.
McLaren is running tremendously right now. So far, first and third, and then Toro Rosso as well. So definitely the battles of the season is going to be between McLaren and Toro Rosso.
Yep, Skeven pits. So I'm going to see, because Hellboy pitted the lap before, so we'll see if the undercut works for him.
Yep, and back to Brittany in the pits on an update on Skeven.
Here comes Skeven into the pits, and he's going for the one-stop strategy. But don't be surprised if he comes in for another stop down the road. Earlier in the week, during practice, we spoke to his engineer about his history with the track, and they said that they were finding their troubles in the second sector of the track. But it looks like they just cleaned up the trouble, and he's looking good so far.
Skeevan just gets out in front of Hellboy, but Seabrain has jumped them all, and Lewis has regained his position at the head of that sort of train for fourth place. So the undercut working well for those who pitted earlier.
Oh, the Ferrari kind of checks up just a bit in front of Skeevan, and I hope he doesn't have any damage on his wing. Might have been just been a little tap, but shouldn't be too much. But yeah, it's going to be an amazing race down to the wire as we're halfway through this race. So let's actually take the time just to cycle through the field right now and see where
Remco going defensive at turn 14 against Michelangelo, forcing Michelangelo off the track. Battle for third.
Also, another thing we have to worry about is time penalties as well for cutting corners.
Let me know and I will check in a moment. With about a third, it looks very tasty indeed.
Yeah, tasty like a medium rare steak at a Texas grill house. And here comes the Toro Rosso on the inside of little Remco. Pushes Remco into the grass, and what is he trying to do? Play bumper cars or something? Oh my, just Remco still holding on as they approach, and diving on the inside, Remco going way wide. Oh my, that was incredible to watch. He tried, yes he did.
Very old tyres. No quarters given out of turns 2 and 3. I think Michelangelo could have given him a lot more space, but needed to get that done.
Yeah, and here comes Cliffy as he's trying to pass Fraggle Paul, who also started on the mediums. So 2 drivers start on the mediums. They're ending their stint, but Cliffy needs to get past these 2 drivers if he wants to catch back up to his teammate.
Yeah, indeed. Mercedes not making it easy for him, and why should he? For position.
As they go around the bank corner, side by side.
They touched at 13, coming onto the DRS straight, but I think Clippy should have the fresher tyres and he should get this move done.
Yeah, both of them in DRS, but like you said, fresher tyres are always going to win on top speed. And Cliffy makes, I wouldn't call it easy work, but he does make work of Fraggle and moves into 5th and has his eyes set on 4th.
Yeah, there's now a mini train from 8th to 11th place. Seabrain undercut quite a lot of these guys, and now he's defending furiously from Hellboy and Skeevan and his teammate.
So far, 2 drivers have retired, but I don't think due to crashes. So it's actually been a very heated race from the start, and we're hoping it's going to be heated until the very end, especially with the mid pack or the positions just below the podium. But even for 2nd and 3rd, it's going to be intense between the teammates for sure.
Alright, just to give you a quick update on things that happened at the start. It looks like Parkway and ERL Falcon had a...
Oh, and Fraggle Paul is retired, and there you see, sorry to interrupt you, but there you see the mangled corpse of a Mercedes-Benz. Looks like Fraggle Paul just lost control of his car, and unfortunate. So there's 1 car down, and they actually crashed. So unfortunate for Fraggle Paul, had a strong run all race long, but those worn out tires just really kind of took him in the end.
Beast has now just almost within DRS range of Lewis, the Williams Lewis, that is. He's on a long medium stint. I think he's the only driver hasn't pitted except for Fraggle, Remco and
and Skeevan loses control of his car. Sorry to interrupt you again, but Brain and Skeevan were going at it, going into turn 1, and Skeevan and Brain touch, and Skeevan drifts his McLaren like he's in a Japanese drift competition around corner number 1, and he holds on to it. And wow, unbelievable control by him, but he keeps it, but loses position, but even worse, he loses tire wear. So let's see if he can make up for the mistake that he made.
Yeah, Remco now caught by Cliffy, but I believe Bisas is about to attempt his first move to retake the lead from Lewis W03.
On board with Cliffy in the DRS. Yeah, he's gonna make easy work of Remco, but Remco's not gonna give up easy as he takes the defensive inside line and pushes Cliffy, almost pushes Cliffy off, backed off and played fair, and Cliffy just gets around him no problem. And now Cliffy has his eyes set on his teammate, but due to that little battle, Michelangelo has taken off, and it's set a 6-second gap between him and his teammate. And Bistas on the rear bumper of the Williams' Lewis.
Yeah, this is a very interesting situation. How aggressive will Bistas have to be? Because Lewis has to pit. Been on those mediums a long time. Will Bisas risk a move and risk spinning off the track when he's got such a commanding position at the front as soon as Lewis pits? So, we'll see what his mindset is.
I think he's gonna make this pass coming down the long straightaway into turn 4. He's close enough where he can just pass him on just pure speed alone. So let's keep an eye out for it. I don't think it's gonna cost him much time for Michelangelo to catch up to him.
No, I think Michelangelo, there we go, Bisas better, much fresher tyres.
Yep, easy work. Well, also, kind of went wide, and Lewis is gonna battle. Let's see if Lewis actually dives into the pits here. He doesn't. He's still holding on strong.
Gets a better exit. Great exit from the Williams driver.
Bisas. If I was Bisas, I would absolutely back off into turn 1, but he doesn't look like they're gonna do it side by side around Snail. They still hold on to it. Bistas has the inside line, and he gets the pass for the lead. As McLaren pit crews are clapping and celebrating as Bistas is going to blast off into the Chinese sunset. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think Lewis took Bisas by surprise in that final corner. I don't think he was expecting him to get such a good exit, but he held it in the end. But that was, great stuff from Lewis to battle it with his. He's done 19 laps on those mediums now, so he must be going for a super soft to end the race.
Yeah, and due to that battle, actually, Michelangelo has gained half a second on them, but Michelangelo on those softs, it's going to be dicey. 10 laps to go.
Yeah, and CC Brain still fighting off Hellboy and Skeeven in a brilliant freeway fight for 6th place.
So
and
if
Remco is finally pitted onto the super softs.
So that's gonna be another interesting mix into this as well, as this gaggle of cars may actually be joining with Remco at the very end of Skeeven. He makes an inside move, takes over the position of Hellboy, and almost took CC Brain with them. As we were just mentioning, Remco going into the pits, but let's see if Skeeven can make the pass on Brain to regain 6th. And did Remco come out in front of him? Doesn't look like it.
Yep, Skeeving moves to try and get around the outside of C-Brain, going into turn 3.
Hellboy trying to follow Brain, but Skeeven just shuts the door, and just that small nick of time. But actually, here comes Lewis in the Williams. He's on the super softs, and he's making a hard charge on these 3 cars. were battling. So actually, Lewis may snipe these 3 positions away from him. As we have a 4-car battle, they look like they're 2x2.
Doug sets the fast lap, but you know, Lewis with a much better tracks, and he's going to go past Hellboy straight away, or at least try to.
Oh man, such a tight battle between positions. Oh, Skeven goes around. Oh, CC break. Skeven! Both cars into the wall! Skeven's out of the race.
Double retirement.
Oh my goodness. There's the wreck.
Double retirement.
Oh
dear.
With no safety cars. Oh.
No points for Skeven again.
Oh man.
It's a disaster, but...
Oof. Wow.
So Lewis W03, he's gone from 8th to 5th thanks to that, and he's on the super softs, and he might even be able to challenge the other Lewis for 4th and get revenge for that turn 1 incident.
Well, I think Lewis still has to pit. No, he already pitted. So yeah. I am speechless right now. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look back. But it looked like the kind of incident you used to see on F1 2016, where the cars just sort of
side pod glitch. Yeah, side pod glitch maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, they just caught each other and went straight off the track, and the impact was too hard for the cars to bear, and that was it.
Oh man, I'm sure Skeven and I'm sure those 2 drivers are absolutely gutted. Oh man, that was... And I was on board with Skeven there. That was a brutal impact, but looks like both drivers have walked away just fine, and as they get ready for round 3 next week.
Yeah, and something happened to King Mick, because he had to make another pit stop, so he's out of the points now, running in 12th. So he's had to make 3 pit stops, the Ferrari driver.
And here comes Blocks, and he's going to try to get past Hellboy for P6. And the DRS easy. He's probably up in Rich actually. Sure for this pass, and gets past the Mercedes. Nope, not yet. Ooh, Hellboy pushing Blocks. Make him maybe even corner cut actually, so we'll see. Well, stewards, I hope you weren't planning on relaxing this weekend, because you're gonna have your hands full with looks like this race alone, so be prepared.
Yeah, it looks like Hellboy is doing some fuel saving, because he's running negative fuel at the moment, so I think that's why Little Blocks has cruised up to the back of him all of a sudden.
So once again, thank you for joining us tonight for this incredible race. If you haven't, please subscribe to my channel. Last time I checked, I'm only 4 subscribers away from reaching 100. So if you do help me get to 100, that'd be absolutely incredible. And yeah, please continue to support me. And that just looks disgusting. Oh man. I just captured the city McLaren of Skeven, and man.
Yeah, and Lewis W03 has caught the other Lewis already rapidly. He was going about 1.5 seconds a lap faster, and battle for 4th is joined.
And looks like they're actually going to match each other on tire wear percentage about with Lewis and the Red Bull. Pitting earlier, obviously in the mediums, and Lewis and the Williams pitting on super softs a couple laps ago. But when this race wraps up, I think the Red Bull might have the advantage as far as tire wear goes, because Lewis is pushing and goes the over and under on the Red Bull. Can he hold it? Another brilliant pass between the 2 Lewises, and a lot of highlights in this race for sure.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, he's my driver of the day at the moment, because he was pushed off at turn 1 right at the start and dropped right to the back of the field, and he's recovered up to 4th on a 1-stop strategy.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant drive from Lewis and the Williams, and definitely showing his true pace here today. But now that we kind of have a little bit, I say a little bit of a lull in the action, let's actually go through the field from last to first and see where everyone stands. King Mick, like Venom said, had a pit probably due to some wing damage. He's back in 12th. Then we have Parkway Drive in the Renault. He's in 11th by himself. There's Dougie in P10. He's in the last points position, holding it down for Sauber. B Moore in P9, my boy, he's in the Haas, he's in 9th. There's Remco in the Sahara Force India, currently in P8. And Little Blocks and Hellboy battling out for P6 and 7 respectively. We'll get to them in just a bit. Then Lewis just got passed for P5. Then Lewis and the Williams, P4. Cliffy in P3. And Michelangelo in P2, but looks like Michelangelo's actually taken off. He's lost 2 seconds to Beastas, who's their current leader, but Cliffy about 5 seconds behind his teammate, so we'll see where that goes.
Yep, and Remco, because of that earlier double retirement, has been promoted up to 8th, and he's going to be catching Hellboy and Little Blocks ahead of them, so I think we might get a battle there last lap. So I think the only question really left at the moment is whether Michelangelo can get those softs to the end. It's been on them a long time.
He has, and if he's been conserving his fuel and coasting around the corners, not really braking or accelerating along the long sweeping corners, I think he'll be fine. But it's going to be iffy. He won't be able to push in the last remaining laps, or else he may cause himself to get a puncture and ultimately not finishing the points at all.
Yeah, well, it's looking like it. You know, as long as they both finish, it's looking like a really strong result for Toro Rosso today, and I think that will probably put them at least second in the constructors table. So it's going to be a good day's work for them.
Actually, I'm looking at the points right now. It's actually might actually put him in first, because Beastas is holding it down for the constructors and drivers for McLaren, and the McLaren driver retired. So Toro Rosso is definitely going to skyrocket in first.
I think if my maths is correct, Toro Rosso will be on 31, and 2 wins for Beastas will put McLaren on 32.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep, totally forgot about that. Unless if Michelangelo can keep it safe with his tires. We have 4 laps to go, so it's possible.
Well, I think Dougie's running in 10th in the Sauber. He was one of the 2 Sauber drivers out of wing change. So again, that's a lesson here where, you know, just keep going. You might still get something at the end of the race, and he looks like he's miles ahead of Parkway Drive at the moment. So looks like Dougie will get his reward for keeping going with a point.
Yep, and that's going to keep Sauber in the points for sure. That's going to bring, if Dougie can finish where he's at right now, it's going to bring Sauber up to 13 points.
Yep, and I believe your friend Vmore, he's running in 9th, so after today, as it stands, every single team would have scored points.
It's always good to hear. And here comes Blocks, trying to get the position away from Hellboy, and looks like these two are going to be battling it until the very end.
Yeah, and they've got Remco hunting them down, although I think he's running out of laps, unfortunately. He may not catch them in time.
3 laps to go in round 2 of PlayStation Gaming League's Formula 2 division. If you'd like to join, please visit us at PlayStationGL.com. Free to join and register. We have different games. Formula 1, we have what? Hold on, I'm not ready to count right now. We have 9 different leagues to choose from Formulas 1 through Formula 6, Formula Performance, Formula Endurance, and the new Formula Classic due to this game. So 9 different divisions to choose from based on skill level. And we also have some Project Cars, we got some Rocket League, I think. I forgot the name of the game. But yeah, Another like little one-off series spins that we do. So yeah, come on down, follow us on Twitter at PlayStation Gaming League, and follow me on Twitter at TheZebra94, and subscribe to me as well.
Yeah, Michelangelo with a massive lockup going into 14. Yeah, plenty of good leagues in PSGL if you like your F1. There's plenty of choice for all abilities, so it's a great community.
I've been a member for a year and a half now, and I'd like to give a big shout out to my first ever moderator, Human Fish. Actually, I joined the Project Cars League, and he was my first ever moderator, so he's been supporting me ever since. So thanks, Fish, much appreciated.
Yeah, good guy, Fish. So we have 12 runners out of the 17 that started. 5 retirements, including that double retirement for CC Brain and Skeven that we spectacularly saw earlier.
And the Red Bull and Mercedes are still battling it out as Blocks and Hellboy side by side. Hellboy on the inside getting the better line, but looks like Blocks got the better exit. Still side by side, not letting up. Points are points. They touched just a bit, and Hellboy had to back off to avoid retirement, essentially. And these tires are pretty much gone on these cars. But here comes Hellboy.
Nice on the inside.
Oh, hold it! Wow.
Well, it's not the first aggressive dive we've seen from Hellboy, and it works out again. I find it hard to believe he's not had some sort of wing damage in this race, because he's been banging wheels for so many cars today. But it's been a very entertaining for us to watch.
Absolutely. Let's see if Blocks can get the pass here. You see Hellboy trying to swerve in and out, trying to avoid the draft. But here they come. Blocks getting a little bit faster, but here comes Hellboy on the inside. Ooh, they almost lock up wheels together, but they're still holding it on as they go around the last corner. Side by side, Blocks drifts the car just a bit, but holds on to it. And Hellboy still in P6 as we're on the last lap. We have to keep an eye on this. But once
absolutely.
But once the time comes, we do have to switch over to our leader to watch across the finish line. But that's not going to be for another minute or so.
Yeah, Bisas is on his final lap, and he's approaching the last sector, running low fuel apparently, as is Michelangelo. All the top 3 running low fuel, so I'm sure they'll be okay.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. We're gonna be following the battle for P6 here. We just I'm trying to see where Beastaz is at, so we can watch him across the finish line. But yeah, this battle is it's just amazing.
He's going through turn. Michelangelo approaching the final corner,
and he's gonna win 2 in a row. Yeah, Formula 2 putting McLaren at the top step yet again. Congratulations to him. And Michelangelo and Cliffy finishing 2nd and 3rd respectively. Well, we have to go back to the battle between Hellboy and Blocks, both fuel lights flashing red. Dive bomb incoming. Doesn't land. Can Hellboy hold on to it? Don't remember, there's still some time penalties to be allocated, I'm sure. So let's see where everyone finishes. Running way wide is the Red Bull, but Hellboy holding on to it, and looks like no penalties added. Oh, little competition touch at the end there, but an amazing battle between 6th and 7th. Unbelievable. Wow. Absolute slobber knocker from start all the way to end. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Remco finishing 8th, Beemore getting 9th for Haas's first points of the season. And I think Dougie deserves a small clap for
yep, absolutely.
Lap 1 wing change and still getting in the points. So good job from the Sauber driver.
Yeah, been unfortunate for King Mick. He was he was with the battle there, but wing change cost him, and I'm sure he would have.
I didn't see what happened to him, to be honest.
Yeah, I could have just been in contact with the train of cars when he got out, but What an unbelievable race all the way around. Wow. And there you go. 2 Toro Rossos and a McLaren. That is something that you will only see in an F1 2017 video game. Unbelievable. But yeah, there's your winner. As they spray the champagne, which I'm pretty sure that majority of these drivers aren't even old enough to drink champagne. But nonetheless, in the virtual world, they're celebrating like there's no tomorrow. Congratulations to the top 3. Venom, what are your personal highlights before this race? There's a lot of them, but where to begin?
Well, once again, we saw BSAS, just a class above the field, but I think he picked the right strategy. I think Michelangelo had to go with the strategy he went for just to try something different, but he still ended up nearly 13 seconds behind. But also, once again, we saw a very ferocious midfield battle from several drivers, and that could be the highlight of the F2 action. There's a group of like 6 to 8 drivers in this league who are extremely close, and that's what we saw today. We saw so many. But for me personally, I think the performance of Lewis W03 in the Williams was very impressive, considering he got basically punted off the road at the start, ended up at the back, avoided all trouble, and actually passed the guy who caused him to go off the track to take 4th. So for me, he was my driver of the day. But a good result for Toro Rosso as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to go with you, Lewis W03 for sure. Driver of the day. Audience, if you agree, either comment in the chat below or tag me at Twitter at thezebra94 and comment for your driver of the day. Also at PlayStation GL as well. Tag them in those so they know as well. But yeah, let's try to get the top 3 in for an interview. I know that BSS probably doesn't have a mic, but we're still going to invite them anyway. Hold on. They with this new update, PlayStation did something. All my favorites have been erased. So now I can't invite. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, that's not a problem. I don't think Michelangelo is very sociable either, so let's see if Cliffy can get in here at least. Yeah, absolutely. And then invite. Do it now. Okay. Yep. Yeah, let's get our driver of the day in here real quick for sure. Where's he at? There it is. There it is. Nice. Congrats on that. Unplug that. Plug in my phone. All right. So unfortunately, the podium drivers are unable to make it, but Lewis, do you have your mic on? Yes, please. So the fans can hear you. So you had an incredible race, man. Qualified, what was it, third or fourth, got punted off, came back, finishing third. You are collectively mine and Venom's driver of the day. And I'm pretty sure everyone who watched agrees. So, like, what was your motivation, and how did you react to your initial damage at the first lap? Yeah, but congratulations, man, and we'll see you next week. And thanks for stopping on in for this interview. But we must move on to 2 out of the 3 podium sitters, which happen to be teammates. Let's go down to the bottom step for Cliffy real quick. Cliffy, you got your mic on? Mic on shared? So you had a nice, clean race all race. You actually had a little bit of a battle towards the end of your first stint with your teammate, but it kind of fizzled out as soon as you exited the pits. But you guys finished second and third. How do you feel about your results, and do you think you could have actually passed your teammate if given enough time? If given enough time.
So I knew that I could maybe bring the fight to Michael, but yeah, when I come out the pits, my main aim was to save the mediums. But yeah, towards the end, obviously I was gaining them a lot because the soft tires were going off. But I reckon I could have, but it was just too late by the time I realised.
Venom, you wanna add anything to that?
Yeah, it's a good result for Toro Rosso today. So, given that BSAS has already got a commanding position in the Drivers' Championship, do you fancy yourselves for the Constructors?
Well, I mean, race wins ain't going to come this season with Beat, but the Constructors is definitely something that me and Michael want to aim for. Obviously, it's unfortunate that Stephen retired today, but as a team, me and Michael worked together well today, and let's hope we can carry on getting good results and put pressure on the McLaren team.
All right, and we're hoping to see the same result next week. But let's move on up to your teammate, Michelangelo. We did our we did a little experiment on you with my pit analysis, and it seemed to go well. Nice, rather smooth transitions, and you stuck to your game plan, and it was absolutely amazing, man. You just stuck it out. You look like you were able to challenge Beastas in the first couple laps, but unfortunately, he had more pace than you. But nonetheless, nice second place finish. Do you see yourself going on with these types of results in the future?
Yeah, I mean, we know that McLaren are going to be very strong this season, so in terms of the constructors, I think we're going to be aiming for them. And yeah, in terms of the drivers, always trying to do my best I can. And today I think we just didn't really have the pace against Beast. We just had to make a move on the opening laps and we couldn't quite do that, and then we just dropped off. But yeah, managed to stick to my strategy, which and me second position. Pretty happy that Cliffy was up there, so yeah, good day for the constructors. And moving on then to the next race.
Venom, you want to add anything to that?
No, I think it's pretty much covered in terms of what I thought Michelangelo would say.
All right, and since Beastas and we plan on seeing you next week, Michelangelo, and hopefully with not, if not the same performance, maybe even a better performance in a win, or maybe even a pole position. So once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
And since Beastas isn't here, Venom, you want to do the honors?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Beastas, you had an incredible race, qualified first, finished first. Nothing really much to ask, but how was your race, man?
It went well.
All right, there you go. Man of little words, Beastas. So from all of us at PlayStation Gaming League, .com, and myself and Venom and Brittany as our pit analysis, we thank you for joining us for this immaculate of a race, and we will see you next week, same time, same place. Zebra and Venom signing off for tonight.